In a time long ago, on the dusty plains of the Old West, there lived a young woman named Eliza Carter. Life for Eliza was harsh and demanding. Her family's farm sat on the edge of a small settlement where rain was rare, and the working sun beat down on the fields from dawn until dusk. Eliza had grown up with a strong sense of responsibility. Ever since her father passed away, she had taken on the burden of maintaining the fields and caring for her younger siblings. Every morning, she rose before sunrise, her hands already blistered from the long hours of labor. Day after day she plowed the land, planted the seeds, weeded the crops, and did everything she could to keep her family fed and safe. She worked so hard that sometimes she felt as though she was slowly working herself to death under the unforgiving sun. YouTube. Despite her exhaustion, Eliza never stopped. She believed that if she stopped even for a moment, all they had worked for would be lost. Her back ached, her feet were sore, and her heart was heavy with fatigue, but she refused to give up. Neighbors would sometimes offer a passing greeting, yet none ever stayed long to help her, convinced that the burdens of life belonged to each person alone. It was this belief that weighed on Eliza most of all, the belief that she had to carry everything by herself. YouTube. One late afternoon, when the sun was at its fiercest and the earth seemed to glow red with heat, Eliza struggled to lift a heavy sack of grain. The load was too much for her tired arms. Sweat trickled down her brow, and her breath came in uneven gasps. Just then, a stranger approached from the edge of the fields. He was an Apache warrior, tall and calm, his dark hair tied back, and his eyes steady and kind. When Eliza saw him, she paused, unsure of what he wanted. YouTube. The Apache man walked up to her and said gently, "Let me carry that load." At first, Eliza hesitated. She had been so used to doing everything herself that the idea of someone helping felt strange and unfamiliar. But she was so weary that her arms trembled, and she realized she couldn't refuse. With a humble nod, she handed him the heavy sack. YouTube. As they walked together toward her home, the burden lifted from Eliza's shoulders felt like more than just the grain, it felt like hope. The Apache man didn't just carry the physical load, he carried her worries a little, too. Along the way, he shared simple wisdom about life and strength, that no one is meant to face every hardship alone. It was a lesson Eliza had never truly learned before. Slowly, she began to understand that asking for help was not a weakness, but a sign of courage and connection. YouTube. By the time they reached the farmhouse, Eliza felt lighter, not just in body, but in spirit. She thanked the Apache man with heartfelt gratitude. From that day forward, she continued to work hard, but she also learned to accept support from others. Whenever a neighbor offered a hand, she welcomed it. And whenever she saw someone struggling, she remembered what it felt like to have her burden shared.